Hey guys, this is for anyone doing a valve job on a second gen RSV or Tuono. I just want to give you a couple of tips. I don't want to walk you through everything, just a couple of tips that should really help you. I've finished the front cylinder. I'm just going to piece the back one together now. I've finished the job on the back, and there's a couple of things that you really need to know about. On the back cylinder, it is the valve, the cam tensioner is accessible. I've got my light on it there, so you can get the tension off and do what you need to do, which is much more involved than the front because you've got this balancer cam with this balancer shaft on the top. And the reason that you need to take that off is because you cannot actually unbolt this clamp on the top until you've undone 2 bolts on the side. So you can take the 8 screws out of the top, but unlike the front, it won't just lift off. You've got to remove this black one, and there's another second one hiding right behind that sprocket. You can't get to those until you take the sprockets off, and you can't get the sprockets off until you've taken the balancer sprocket off. To take the balancer sprocket off, you need to put quite a lot of force onto the nut on the end, and in order to do that, you can put an Allen wrench right in this hole and have it sit down against the casing here, and then you can get the counterclockwise torque onto the nut to get it off. There's some thread lock or something on there. It was pretty tight. The weight was stuck onto the sprocket, and the sprocket was stuck onto the shaft. You've got to work on both. They have to come off or you won't be able to do the job. But piecing it back together is easy because you're able to back off the cam chain tensioner. Not so easy on the front. The cam chain tensioner is hidden behind this lot here, which is some kind of junction for the coolant. And I wasn't able. I know some people claim that they're able to get to it. I wasn't able to get to it at all. And if you were to be able to get to it, you'd have to put a lot of force on it to get it to back off. So I did it with the chain tensioned, and that creates its own challenge. But just before we get to that, I'm going to say that the bolt that's in the way back down near the radiator for the cover is actually not hard to get to at all. I don't think you have to pull the radiator forward and remove the fan. I think you can just use a setup like this with a pivot head wrench, and you can easily get down there and undo the bolt. But once you've done the job, because you've got tension on the chain, you want to keep the chain on the sprockets. You want to zip tie them together. You'll have to unbolt the sprocket of the cam that you wish to adjust, and then you'll have to lift the cam out, do the job. And you can't put the cam on and then bolt the sprocket in because there's tension on the chain. You need to bolt the sprocket onto the cam first, and then you need to place the cam and the sprocket in to its proper place. Now, that's hard to do with tension on the chain, and like I only did the exhaust valve. So in my case, what I did was I put a small tool inside the cam on the right and a small tool inside the cam on the left. So in this case, you probably fit a small screwdriver. On this side, you probably have to fit an Allen wrench because there's not much clearance. And then just push the whole unit. It takes a little bit of force because there's pressure on the chain, but just push the whole unit back down and over and into its proper position. That's how I got it to seat. That's my way of doing it. It's not ideal to put that amount of force maybe on a delicate engine component, but I couldn't find any other way to get it all back together again. So there you go. If you have any questions, please ask. As you can see, you can do it all with the tank on. I don't have a problem at all. This thing has taken me way too long, but ask me any questions and I'll try and answer them. Thanks.